Aficionados que viven la intensidad del fútbol americano, estamos una vez más en la Liga Minnesota, en la jornada número 7, en donde los Vikingos reciben a los 49 en este camino hacia el Supertazón. Antes de iniciar el juego, tenemos algunas actividades. Por ejemplo, recordar quiénes fueron los ganadores de la semana 6. Aquí los tenemos, tanto de la nacional como de la americana. Y hay algunos jugadores que quieren negociar sus contratos. Vamos a ver qué se puede hacer con ellos. KJ Osborne quiere un contrato de 3 años y 12.3 millones, pero su interés en el equipo es realmente muy pobre. Por lo tanto, no se le va a dar más que esta oferta si la acepta. Que bueno, si no, no dice, disfruto jugando con ustedes, pero creo que voy a evaluar sobre ver la agencia libre. Ok, me parece muy bien. Joe José Juan Williams tiene 25 años. Vamos a ver qué se puede hacer con él. Vamos a hacerle esta oferta, a ver qué le parece. Pues creo que no le gustó tampoco, quién sabe por qué. En fin, y el pateador Greg Joseph pues siente que no está teniendo chamba y tal vez quiera irse a otro lado, pero vamos a ver, le vamos a ofrecer lo que hay. Y le gustó la oferta, perfecto, qué bien, ya tenemos algún contento. Y los demás, hasta la semana 9 va a haber otra situación. Muy bien. Bien, entonces tenemos también el scout de jugadores del college. Aquí tenemos a los prospectos. En el top 5 está un cornerback, un wide receiver, un linebacker externo, un quarterback y un ala defensiva. Ok, parece que son de alto nivel. Ok, bien. Y ya después ya vienen los demás proyectos de primera ronda. Y pues vamos a ver qué se puede lograr. Estos son los prospectos. Nosotros tenemos algunos proyectos, ¿verdad? Pero bueno, ya veremos. En cuanto a las estrategias de la semana, el plan de juego es, por ejemplo, cuidar a Christian McCaffrey, que es un excelente corredor de los de élite, ¿verdad? Y la idea del plan de juego es enfocarse en cuidar que no nos corra mucho por fuera, porque si agarra la banda, adiós Nicanor. ¿Cómo está la fatiga de nuestra defensiva? No, pues están requete bien. Hasta parece que ni se esfuerzan. Muy bien. Y por el lado defensivo, tienen ellos a Fred Warner, que es un linebacker central. Y el plan de juego consiste en mejorar las carreras por dentro. Y pues eso es lo que vamos a hacer. En cuanto a los fatigosos, hay un 99% de fatigosos. Este le vamos a poner así, este también lo vamos a poner así y estos también. Entonces, vamos a ya irnos a los entrenamientos. Y mientras esperamos, pues ya tenemos un reporte de la ofensiva. Alex Álvarez es el que está más fatigado. Esperemos que no se le complique mucho. Vamos a tratar de mantener un buen nivel balanceado en su juego para no quemarlo. Ok, entonces vámonos a los... Bueno, antes de los planes hay algunos jugadores que van a necesitar crecer. Tenemos ya aquí a Fernando Álvarez que ya está elevando su calidad de una manera impresionante. Y todavía tiene otro, wow. Pues está la cosa bonita, ¿verdad? Debido a que ha estado muy bien, se le está llevando a un tope impresionante. Nunca había visto esto, novato. La verdad es que está resultando muy bien. Justin Jefferson, pues él ya es un veteranazo. Pues también es un X Factor. Ya casi está en el tope de todo. Es un jugador muy completo. John Alex Hidalgo, otro de los novatos de los que se espera mucho. Y de hecho lo ha estado dando, ya es líder en intercepciones. Ya está muy cerca de revelarse cuál es su potencial. Ati Martínez, uno de los pilares de la defensiva. Un stopper. La verdad es que por eso la defensiva es como es. Ya tiene este nivel de star, es un star. Creo que lo vale como tal. Joe Juan Williams, Kenny Wangu, Nick Moss, todos estos, pues ya no hay tiempo de hacer un seguimiento tan detallado, pero todos reciben sus habilidades correspondientes. El staff de coacheo nos va a decir ahorita cuáles son sus planes para el juego de la semana. El coach quiere que mantengamos en 200 o menos yardas o abajo de 200 yardas al equipo contrario. Vamos a ver si esto es viable. Y por lo mismo le exige mucho a sus coordinadores al ofensivo. Está ofreciendo 250 o más yardas. No, señora, a mí dame mínimo 400 o más. Y al coordinador defensivo otra vez, demasiado conservador. No, señor. No has entendido que yo quiero que se esfuercen. Así es que 10 puntos máximo o menos. Y el plan de juego semanal pues seguirá siendo el mismo, 5 o más touchdowns por tierra. Bueno, pues así las cosas. Creo que ya está todo listo para irnos al encuentro. Creo que sí, todo está en orden. No hay nada más que hacer. Así es que enviamos cámaras y micrófonos al US Bank Stadium de Minneapolis, Minnesota, para un juego más de la semana y pues que lo disfruten. Nos vemos al final del partido. Y dejamos la transmisión en manos de nuestros colegas norteamericanos de la cadena Sports.
Tonight, from US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis, it's a special prime time edition of the NFL on EA Sports. It's the Minnesota Vikings taking on the San Francisco 49ers.
Now we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Tonight, we close out Week 7 together with a good Monday night matchup, as it'll be the San Francisco 49ers taking on the Minnesota Vikings. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. They've got all W's on the ledger so far. A perfect 6-0.
Yeah, still a long way to go in this season, but they're showing everyone early on that they intend to be there in the end.
Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season. Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. And we will not get a run back here to start. It's a touchback, and it will come out to the 25. The Niners offense set to go to work, and it's last year's revelation, Brock Purdy, who leads them out in season number 2 from Iowa State.
I like this guy, and the reason I do, he tends to stand an even keel, doesn't let too much ruffle him. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week, but he found a way for his team to win.
Here's the Pro Bowler, Christian McCaffrey. And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be second down. The numbers for McCaffrey last week. 17 carries, 80 yards.
In a perfect world, they'd run the ball the same way they did last week, but against the #1 rush defense in the league, they're going to have to find a different way to move the ball. Maybe they start throwing it early and come back to the run.
Purdy. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete. The intended receiver, Marquise Goodwin, and it's third down. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. Hey, look at this defense for the Vikings. They put together a strong effort last week in the win over the Bears, CD.
They forced 7 turnovers.
How many?
7.
7.
I mean, think about that number now. That's supposed to be a lucky number, right? Lucky for one side, unlucky for the other. But we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
On first down, this is McCaffrey. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Throwing here, Purdy. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete. This defense for the Vikings, they put together a strong effort last week in the win over Chicago.
And that's not the half of it. They forced 7 turnovers in that.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football as they force the turnover on the opening drive. Remember, Charles, this is the #1 defense in the NFL, and they prove their mettle here, forcing the turnover on the opening possession.
And sometimes when you play a team that has that reputation, that's earned it by their play, the psychology is, okay, they're #1. They have to prove it to us, and they tried to attack. They found out that that ranking was real.
And if history is any indication, when this defense gets off to a good start, look out.
Yeah, their offense plays off of them awfully well, too.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 45. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And a solid run here as he'll pick his way down to the 42-yard line. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards. And after his performance last week, everybody saw it. Unbelievable. You can expect a heavy dose of him again, I think.
Without a doubt. I mean, why wouldn't you? Because once you establish yourself that way, it's not just him, okay? It's his offensive line, it's the tight end, it's your wide receivers, everyone now sharing in the load and sharing in the belief that if they do their job, they'll see another performance just like they saw the week before.
They go play action here on first down. And he's got his big tight end here. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. The catch and run, good for 24 yards. Really been an ideal start for them. They get the turnover on the opening possession. Now here they are moving the ball straight down the field on their first drive.
And that feels good, but you know on their side of the field, all they're thinking is finish this drive off because they took it away, right? So now you've got them back on their heels a little bit. Now go down, put a touchdown on them. Look out. You've won the mental battle early in the game, and that may carry over for you.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Flushed out right. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run.
As we both know, there was a lot that went into why they made him their first-round pick this year, and part of it was what they saw in college, his playmaking ability when things break down. As soon as he saw he wasn't getting a lane to throw, he pivoted and found an alternate way to the marker.
First and goal, a chance to convert that early turnover into points. Now a handoff running through the middle. Give him 2 yards on that one. Second and goal now. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming...
And he's in for the score, and his spectacular season continues as he ties the NFL touchdown record.
He is phenomenal.
One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
Extra point forthcoming. He's got it, and the Vikings take a 7-0 lead. 5 plays there on that drive, and it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. Back out there comes the 49ers offense ready for their second drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others, where they think they have an advantage. Dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
Here's a throw, complete right side to start things out. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Up the gut, McCaffrey. Busts through the tackle. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. He'll get a dozen there, and it's a first down, 49ers.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
You look at this defense for the Vikings.
It's quite a unit. Number 1 in the NFL against the pass.
Take those rankings, throw them right out the window, because this is what you prepare for. This is what you practice for. This is what you think about. The ultimate test, taking on the number 1 overall offense in the league.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11.
Off the option, here's McCaffrey.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll wind up as a loss on the play, so now they're staring at a 3rd down and 12.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
The last 2 plays each lose a yard. They'll try to move forward here on 3rd and 12.
Here's Purdy. A throw left sideline falls incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
And this will be taken at the 13. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. And you see his numbers from a week ago. He was up over 100 yards then, and he's already hit pay dirt here once in this one.
We always talk about quarterbacks and receivers getting into rhythm, right? Really feeling good, finding each other downfield. I think running backs operate the same way. They can hit a good rhythm and a good stride, and he's carrying it over from last week.
On the ground, it's Jefferson.
And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line.
Coming through that time and stopping him for a loss was Drake Jackson. Nice play.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
2nd and 13. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there with touchdown number 20 on the year.
And the Vikings are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Boy, just zero hesitation from the rookie passer there, partner. He is coming out firing in this opening quarter.
And all the talk leading into this game was that pass rush talking about challenging this guy, getting into his grill, getting into his space. And how about him? Might be his first year in the NFL, but I don't see any fear in him at all. How about that big-time throw right out of the gate?
Extra point attempt to come here. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays, the long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25.
San Francisco's offense returns to the field. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on first down. Purdy will set up to throw it here. A quick throw there is incomplete.
Charles, he doesn't seem to be particularly in tune with his receivers, just 2 for 7 throwing the football, but he did seem really locked in before the game.
Yeah, and that has to do with receivers sometimes. Sometimes the defenders knock them off their routes, and you're usually pretty precise. 1, 2, 3 cut, balls out of his hands to the receiver. In this case, might be off by a half step either way. They've got to find a way to get back in sync.
The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus, and indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
They run the option here on 1st and 10.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
And not a lot of success to be found there.
Oh, you got that right, partner, because if you're trying to make guys miss about 10 yards or so downfield, that's a pretty good play. But if you've got to do it in your own backfield, I consider that a problem. That doesn't work too well.
So a step in the wrong direction. Now they'll look to make amends on 2nd and 14. From the shotgun to McCaffrey. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. Just a loss of a yard there, but it's not going to help. Now they face a 3rd and 14.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. The run hasn't worked the last couple of plays. Now it's 3rd and 14.
Now Purdy connects with Kittle underneath.
And he can only get this to the 42-yard line. And that is not near enough. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. So on 4th down, here's the Australia native Mitch Wishnowsky to punt this one away. This is taken at about the 14. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. So here are the Vikings to take over. Their win streak at 6 coming in and counting as they've got the lead right now beginning this drive 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going and are controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards, but also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
Same exact result as last play, a pickup of 11. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. They're going to look to throw. And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Minnesota. It's the Vikings in possession of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A 15-yard touchdown run. And the Vikings take a 3-touchdown lead. Well, CD, that's his 2nd touchdown already. And how about this offense? 3 drives, 3 touchdowns.
An absolute total team effort right now. And let's face it, I don't think he's done. We're still in the first half. There's a lot of time left to go. I don't know what they're going to do on the other side trying to slow him down. But right now, he's feeling it.
Now the try here for the extra point. And it is now 21-0. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it was finished by the touchdown run from the 15. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. The 49er offense now making their way out onto the field. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy. And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. Now a give, right side McCaffrey. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. They lose 2 on that last play, so things get even tougher. 3rd and long coming up.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
The Niners on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 17. Back to throw, Purdy. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to have to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
A solid stiff arm. It's a 42-yard punt. They keep him to just a yard on the return. And they will take over 1st and 10. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's been effective so far, over the 40-yard mark here in the second quarter. Don't forget about those guys up front, though. They've been effective, too.
The leverage game has been in their favor. They've been the ones who've been able to bend their knees, drop their hips, and get a little bit lower than the guys on the other side of the football, and they've moved them out of the way for the runner.
Sometimes that's tough for those big fellas.
Not an easy thing for them to do.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. Down the sideline he goes. And he's going to step out of bounds all the way down at the 20. 82 yards for him on the ground so far tonight as he has been terrific in this first half. I guess that's what happens when you give the current NFL rushing leader that much room.
And when you do, all you're doing is solidifying his standing at the top of the leaderboard. He's going to continue to get more and more yards. Good luck trying to chase him down.
So a big play as it gets him all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. Looking to throw. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
Looked like both sides were anticipating a quick throw there, and the defense was ready to jump in and deny it, and they did.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
They haven't been able to stop them so far this series, but getting a nice little stand from their defense now.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Now back to throw. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. This will wind up a loss on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a 3rd down stop by them.
Escaping the pressure right. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A 21-yard touchdown run. And the Vikings are able to add on to their first half lead. He continues to show at this level that he can not only pass for touchdowns, he can run for touchdowns.
Not the first time we've seen this, because this young guy, he really makes it happen. So what that tells me is the book on him has to change. You've got to now plan for those legs as well as him throwing the football.
The call is to go for 1 and kick the extra point. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. A drive that time of 6 plays. And the finishing touch was that nice long run into the end zone. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. The 49ers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. Purdy looking to throw. That's over the middle and caught by Ayuk.
So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And now it's 3rd and 3.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
They'll come up now, 3rd and 3.
They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. 4th down now after a loss of 2.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Here's Mitch Wishnowski now. A 45-yard punt, 4 there on the return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
And the Vikings now heading onto the field.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which.
And now the rookie's free. And he is into the end zone, and the touchdown record is now all his. And with that carry, he's already over 100 yards here in the first half.
And, partner, you know exactly what he's saying to his teammates right now, right? Especially to the play caller.
Give me the ball.
Again, and again, and again. It's not that heavy, sir. I'll take it.
No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. And he's been a busy man. 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So they hit pay dirt on just one play. The long run, the scamper, and a very nice scamper into the end zone for the touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. Now the 49ers settling in for their next drive.
And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now.
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey.
And he finds a little bit of room, enough for 4 yards. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
He'll be taken down well behind the line, and I think he might have just given those 4 yards right back. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
Yes, indeed. That play there, that reminds me of some of the guys that I played with that have that suddenness, able to get into the backfield almost about the time the ball snapped and make a play. How about that tackle for a loss?
Absolutely. He did a lot of that last week when he was named the NFC Defensive Player of the Week. One of the guys on the team would say, hey, yeah, we called him the disruptor, and that's carrying forward again.
Makes sense, doesn't it?
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 10. Connects with Kittle underneath.
And he's going to be brought down short of the first at about the 31-yard line. So the completion good for 6 yards, and that's going to make it 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, the big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
Here's Mitch Wishnowski now on to punt. They'll call this a 41-yard punt, 7 on the return. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. Might he be on his way to a record-setting performance here, Charles? Second quarter and the yardage number already ridiculous.
And they always talk about just focusing on the next play. But sometimes it's okay to dream big because
I'm focusing on the fourth quarter already.
Listen, I don't blame you, though, because we could be witnessing some type of history here, and it's being done by him and, of course, the big guys up front who are creating the holes for him to run through.
Yeah, they've all been good so far. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. Call that a very strong gain of 24. And he's over 100 yards now after that last catch. Already, of course, leading the NFL in receiving yardage.
So he's done nothing at all to hurt his cause to stay in that spot. But I've been so impressed with how he's gotten it done. Body control, route running. How about the way he competes for the football at the end of the play?
Now a play fake here on first down. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
It'll be a gain of 2, and speaking of 2s, it'll take us to the 2-minute warning. From the 20, here's the 2nd and 8. Fighting through. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's 3rd down.
I think we all suspected that they were going back to him after he found the end zone on his last carry, and they kept the positive momentum going there. Another nice run by him.
Pass taken in by his big tight end, and out of bounds all the way down at the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
A lot of deflated looks on that defense. It seems like they just cannot find a way to get a key stop on 3rd down. Here's another conversion, and now this offense, they're in a position to go up even further as they've got it 1st and goal.
They'll try to run this one in, and he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great play there. On his way to a monster game, 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Vikings have taken a 6-touchdown lead. What a game it's been for him in the backfield, Charles, as he pounds it into the end zone yet again.
Yeah, and he hits the end zone one more time, and his blockers cleared all those lanes. Before the snap, they called for the heavy unit, right? 3 tight ends coming on the field, and they got the job done clearing the way.
Point after try forthcoming. And the route is on here in this first half. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. The 49ers offense making its way back out there. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. Was a quick 3 and out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Purdy looking to throw on first down here. Oh, a strip. The ball comes out. And the defense says they have it. They do. One play into the ball game, an early turnover.
All right, partner, this is where I get to show my age. Because I remember when the strip sack kind of came into vogue, where defenders were taught not just to make the tackle, but do that little extra, try and jostle the arm of the runner and knock it free. And that's what we just saw there.
The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And now following that turnover, they've got an opportunity here to try to cash in with good field position before intermission. They'll try and start this drive in the air. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great effort there with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Vikings have got it on cruise control. There was a lot of zip on that pass, and baseball might have called that a frozen rope.
I like it when you bring the diamond into the game. I'm going back to the gridiron. Had some heat on that bad boy. Sometimes you throw a touchdown pass, and sometimes
you throw, what, a touchdown strike?
There you go. That's my man, in concert.
Extra point attempt to follow here. And the route is on here in this first half. A nice tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position, and only one play to score it. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. San Francisco set to go on offense once more. And in a spot like this, still more than a minute, I think if you put something on the board before halftime, that would go a long way towards helping them get back into the game.
There actually is something to the psychology of the game at times, isn't there? How much better would they feel running into the locker room, as you noted, with something on the board in a positive fashion? You're exactly right. It's a great opportunity to get that done.
Purdy to throw it on first down. Connects with Kittle underneath. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Now they got to get to the line quickly. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. Purdy now on second down. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number one. Third down, here's McCaffrey. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Here comes the 49ers punter now, as he'll come on to kick for a sixth time tonight. This is brought in at the 21. Found good room to run there. Returns at 14 yards. The Vikings going to take over now late in this first half. And with great starting field position and a couple of timeouts at their disposal, they'll certainly have the green light here. Good starting field position for the Vikings as they have it 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. That's down the field for Jefferson. It's caught at the 10. Touchdown, Vikings. Justin Jefferson, his 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. He put quite a bit of air underneath that touchdown pass. Of course, we knew that he had the strong arm.
That part was easy. You could see that throughout his college career. But what you want to know about a rookie is when the pressure's on, can you throw with touch? He just did right there. And, boy, it was pretty.
Extra point attempt here still to come. And the route is on here in this first half. Those are the kind of drives they like on offense, from the coordinator to the quarterback, the line, everybody. One play drive and into the end zone for 6. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. Well, the Niners going back on offense now late in this first half. Things for them, just to put it bluntly, man, it has been tough sledding here in the first half, facing that big deficit. The clock is dwindling now. Maybe if they can get something on the board here before intermission, they'll have at least a little momentum heading into the second half. Now on first down, it's Purdy. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
But this defense is certainly organized and playing off of each other, because the rush is providing pressure and the coverage is forcing incompletions and capitalizing on mistakes. When you get every level on defense hitting at once, you get first half scores just like this one.
Purdy to throw again on 2nd and 10. That's complete out left to Ayuk. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Here's Purdy on 1st and 10. And he can't escape, and down he goes. He'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's 2nd down. Final play of the half. Purdy. They'll find Ayuk open right side. Evades the tackler, and now some space. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll get our tour started out at Venerable Soldier Field in Chicago, where you see the final score there. Justin Fields, terrific in the win, and a much-needed win at that, as it is indeed their first on the year. Next, we head off to check out another game, and they were losers in that one to the visiting Pittsburgh Steelers. Kenny Pickett, a touchdown pass in the victory. Finally, let's get down to the Bayou. Check in on the Saints at home at the Caesars Superdome. And it was the visiting Jacksonville Jaguars that go home with the victory. Travis Etienne, a touchdown run in the victory.
All right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always, as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well, as we are back and underway for the second half. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up third down. They tried the throw on second down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. Now a 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw here. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a first down.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10, down at the 31. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And some strong running there as he's down just shy of the 20 on the edge of the red zone. 186 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night. Right back to him on first down. And they're knocking on the door now as a good run there are going to take this to about the 10-yard line. 11 more on that one and another first down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense is getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. So there the defense denies the rookie of his potential first career touchdown.
And his first NFL touchdown celebration. I wonder if he's thought about it, if he has something cooked up in his head as he worked on with his team, and think about the celebration back home when he finally scores his first touchdown.
You don't get a second chance to make a first impression. We'll see what he does.
Well said, sir. Well said.
And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Vikings take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Just power football there down near the goal line. Give it to him. He's able to push his way across.
Yeah, they went heavy there. Sometimes you have those big offensive linemen come in, have to report like they're eligible, but all they're doing is getting a good stance, blocking, and getting their runner across the goal line.
A try here for the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. Here's a look at the 49ers offense as they make their way out for their first possession of the second half. Purdy going to lead the 49ers to the line, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. He'll start by handing this off to McCaffrey. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already, and it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. McCaffrey running up the middle, and he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right, he's pretty much been completely neutralized. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Purdy now to throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes. The sack recorded. It's a loss of 5, and now it's 2nd down.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Another try after the 1st down sack. Purdy. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Purdy from the gun. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. He may go. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. But not only is this defense pitching a shutout, now they're contributing points themselves. I mean, they have really put together what's almost been a perfect effort here in this one.
I love how you express that. They've absolutely exceeded expectations in this one, and even better than their play, it's been their effort. Even with the win in their back pocket already, every one of those guys is still out there fighting like it's a tie game.
Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. And San Francisco gets set to go here. Well, the disparity in this game, it just seems to grow with each possession here, Charles. They are really struggling. They have not put up a single point, and on the other side, the points keep piling up and up and up.
So you know the frustration level has to be rising, right? So they've got to find a way to quell that, because otherwise they certainly won't get anything done in this one. Keep diving deeper into the offensive playbook, but bottom line is don't quit competing.
Fresh off that pick 6, here's Purdy. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Back to the air on 2nd down, Purdy. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Well, whatever adjustments they're trying to make over on that sideline, Charles, this defense, they just seem to be a step in front of them and not giving them a chance to implement any of those changes. And here, A pick six, and they widen the lead.
At least a step ahead, maybe even 2 steps. And right now, they are thinking hard about.
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. At issue here, does the football make contact with the ground before he secured it? And I think some of these angles are going to give us a pretty good look.
Secured is the important part because the ball can touch the ground, but it can't be loose when it does. So that's what they're going to have to try and figure out.
Point after here coming up. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The 49ers offense now, they work their way back onto the field. Now they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Back to throw. Purdy got his man complete over the middle. That's Goodwin. A 6-yard pass on back-to-back plays. Picks up the first. Looking to throw. Purdy connects with Kittle underneath. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45. Now a 2nd and 2. A handoff, McCaffrey running right, and he fumbled it. It's on the ground, and the Vikings pick up the football. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line.
They may have the edge on the scoreboard, but that hasn't made them passive, has it? I mean, they dialed up a pretty good run blitz there. And Brandon, you know that all blitzes aren't just designed to get to the quarterback and the passer. Sometimes you're just trying to take away.
And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. So possession still theirs, but now they face a 3rd down. Purdy with a blitz coming. A quick throw there is incomplete. The passing windows are just not there, and that's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
This is taken at the 15. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And out now come the Vikings. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
Now that's a run that warms a play caller's heart because you're actually set up to do whatever you want on offense. You can come right back and run essentially the same play because you have momentum, or you can fake that running play and throw something deep over the top, or you now feel like you have an extra down to play with because if you go ahead and just throw it and you don't get it, come back and try and pick it up on third down.
A gain of 28 yards there and give them a first down. Well, those backups on the sideline, they got to be eagerly anticipating the fourth quarter upcoming. Look at the size of the lead, how they're moving the football. This defense really struggling and giving up plays like we just saw.
Yeah, Stars have certainly done all they've needed to in this one, haven't they? But my question is, will he be able to resist the urge to continue to run things up a bit and get his main guys a few bonus stats?
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Justin Jefferson. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Vikings get another third quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. Well, to put it mildly, he's been able to dice up this secondary all game long, and this time that was a missile that he threw into the end zone and adding another touchdown to his ledger.
And I think we see these youngsters develop a lot quicker than we ever have because when they get started in this game, they're not just throwing passes around. They're reading coverages early. So now they're like seasoned pros earlier in their career. How about this one here? If they win this ball game, a game ball definitely coming from his head coach.
And there's going to be a stoppage here. The booth wants to take another look at this potential touchdown. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How's the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Now the try here for the point after. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. So a 75-yard scoring drive on just 3 plays. And it was all capped off by Justin Jefferson's touchdown reception. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Niners set to take over on offense. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. And they'll try to run the option here. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. He'll get 2 on the keeper, but it becomes now a 3rd down. Back to throw. Purdy. And that is incomplete.
Well, partner, they've certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
Fielded just inside the 30. A terrific return. 30 yards all in all. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He'll rifle this one deep right side. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great play there. 41 yards. And the Vikings are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this 3rd quarter. Boy, another score. This lead gets even bigger. And, Charles, we haven't even hit the 4th quarter yet.
Well, forget the deficit, right? They're really not going to cut into that a heck of a lot. But how can they get out of here with some dignity? Can they get a stop or two? Can they make a play on offense themselves? Anything to start to feel better about what's happened to them here in this one.
Now the extra point try forthcoming. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. Well, the offense wasn't out there for a long time, but they were out there for a good time. One play, and they're able to hit pay dirt. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. On 1st down, Purdy connects with Kittle underneath. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Looking to throw. Purdy. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
Here comes the 49ers punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. $40 yards on the punt, 2 on the return, and it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10. There's a glimpse of Justin Jefferson, the wide receiver, as he and the Minnesota Vikings return back here on offense. Not a bad day at the office there. Maybe he would like the catch number to go up a little bit, but I think most guys would say 2 catches, 2 touchdowns. That's okay.
I think if the catch number goes up, we start talking about the record books, because at that pace, this type of efficiency, oh yeah, I think I'd throw it to him a little bit more often.
Shreds him with a stiff arm. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Boy, 227 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. Now, I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this 4th quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off a game.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. On play action, they'll throw. And that's caught at the 25. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. Boy, a pair of big plays here. This one going for 29. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. And he's going to hook up with his big tight end. Complete. Touchdown. A 24-yard touchdown. And the Vikings add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. So they get their tight end away from the line to the outside, and he works his way in for 6.
Tight ends are not just blockers anymore. I don't know how many more times we need examples, but here's a great one. Gets to the outside, they give him the ball pretty quickly, and they trust him to get those extra yards, and boy, did he come through, bullying his way into the end zone after the nice catch.
Now the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The 49ers ready to set up shop again offensively. Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. Purdy going to lead the 49ers to the line, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. He'll set up to throw from the gun. Got a man, that's Ayuk. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Back to throw. Purdy. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
Oh, yeah, once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. 2nd down, here's Purdy to throw. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
I think this one offensively, this is one where you just say, let's move on. Let's not even watch the game tapes from this one.
Yeah, you might just want to throw it in the trash, act like it was never there in the first place.
Yeah, just say we're good. I actually have heard of a coach in the past who took his team out to the practice field and ceremonially buried the game films from the prior game when they got clobbered. That was his way of putting it behind them.
It'll go down as a gain of 6, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Here comes the 49ers punter now as he's on to kick it away. This will be fielded at the 17. And nice work on the return as he gets about 15 yards back. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. CD, I mean, they have just been scoring at will. It's been score after score after score, and a lot of times we use the term blowout for a lopsided ball game. This has kind of gone past that. I think we're in historic territory right now.
You nailed it. Historic territory. Perfect phrase for what we are watching. If this were a movie, what kind of rating would we put on it? Who would you allow to watch what we're watching right now? Let's hope this one gets over fast, because this game, well decided a long time ago.
And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground.
233 yards for him on the ground, as this has been a night to remember to this point.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there. His 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year.
And the Vikings are closing in now on a 7th straight win to start the year.
They seemingly just continue to score at will, and as great as it's been for the offense, you got to feel for that defense down there.
I love how you use the word will, because both teams came into the game with the will to win, but one team has obviously imposed its will on the other and broken them, because what we're seeing right now, wow, that's a defense that's in tatters after what they faced in this ball game.
Point after, right down the middle. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25.
The 49ers offense now, they get set to head back on the field.
Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage, because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games, and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Shotgun now with Purdy. He's got Ayuk once again.
And he's going to be down at the 35. Gain of 7.
Here comes 3rd and about a foot.
Looking to throw.
Purdy working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Niners first down as they're able to move the sticks with a gain of 4 on 3rd and inches.
I don't care how many times we say it, I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Purdy sets up to throw again. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
Another pass attempt, another incompletion, and they're just a little over 100 yards passing here in this game, so defensively, pretty good job.
Definitely, because they were never really able to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, so a lot of credit to the defensive game plan, and especially the execution.
And that went too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Connects with Kittle underneath. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49.
The Niners have the first down on a gain of 11.
Now, this is certainly one of the bigger losses that we are going to see for quite some time. And you have to think at this point where we're at in the fourth quarter with how wide this advantage is. For this offense, they're just trying to end things with a positive drive and then get the heck out of here.
Yeah, if this had been a concert, you would have heard plenty of sour notes in this one. But they certainly don't want to end it on one. They want to put together a few more throws like that and at least have a final drive to give them a little bit more hope as they move forward.
A quick throw there is incomplete.
At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Purdy will look to throw again here. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete pass that we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game. And that was a big talk, both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them holding them under 200 today.
The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he'll take this one up to about the 13. There to stop him on the defensive side, Fred Warner.
Now that's a decent amount of aggressiveness right there. Inside their own 10-yard line, they still run the toss, even though they know that that can be a little bit of a dangerous play, and it pays off pretty well with a nice run.
He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
Back to throw here. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end.
And he will have a Vikings first down by about a yard. It's a gain of 5 on 3rd and 4.
He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down. Well, they'll take that every time with a lead. 1st down, 4th quarter, getting 8 yards. You love that.
They will take it, and you have to ask the defensive guys, why did you give it? I mean, you know the situation. You're down.
It got his man complete.
And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
It's a gain of 35.
And this has been the story all night long. They just came out firing and have not backed off, even with the big 4th quarter lead. Here's another completion for big yardage.
And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Now it looks like he'll throw here. And this one is incomplete.
But, Charles, you know, something we talked about last week, when you start believing whether you're in the midst of a special season or not. Well, now they're at 6-0. Are you still trying to tamp down the expectations in that locker room?
Well, to me, it's less about tamping down expectations and much more about not getting ahead of yourself as a team. And look, they've got to play each game individually. Right? Many teams talk about being 1-0 at the end of each and every game each week. To me, you've got to understand you cannot win the Super Bowl in October.
Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. They'll try and run this one right up the gut. It'll be a gain of 5 there as they move closer. It's 2nd and goal. Now another timeout called for by the offense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. On 2nd and goal, they'll give it to him again. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, he'd been the workhorse on this drive, and it would have been unfair to bring someone else in to finish the job. So they go back to him again, and he delivers with a touchdown run.
Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And it's polished off by a Viking score. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for Minnesota, their winning ways continue as they get it up to 7-0. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Green Bay Packers. Meanwhile, for the Niners, the loss drops them back to 4-3 so far. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.
Regresamos a la transmisión en español para hacer los comentarios finales y el análisis de las estadísticas de cada jugador. Y tenemos aquí a Fernando Álvarez, que tuvo un muy buen partido, Lo mejor de todo es que no cometió errores. En cuanto a intercepciones se refiere, ¿verdad? No tuvo un porcentaje suficiente para alcanzar el rating perfecto, pero tuvo un 76% de pases completos, 20 de 26 para 583 yardas y 7 touchdowns. Brock Purdy, la verdad, estuvo para llorar y no lo culpo. La defensiva es realmente imposible. Tuvo 3 intercepciones en el juego, 20 de 44, ni siquiera alcanzó el 50% de pases completos. Pero pues así son las cosas, ¿verdad? Afortunadamente para los Vikingos, ellos son un equipo muy poderoso, como no se había visto en mucho tiempo. Y tenemos ahora, en cuanto a los corredores, pues resulta que Alex Álvarez volvió a tener un excelente partido, 26 acarreos para 263 yardas, 10.1, que eso es lo maravilloso. De 10 para arriba es excelente. Y lo mejor, también logró 5 touchdowns en el juego. Y Fernando Álvarez está encendido, tuvo 3 acarreos para 50 yardas y 2 touchdowns. Vaya, que está encendido el hombre. En cuanto a los receptores, George Kittle tuvo más recepciones que nadie, pero con muy poco yardaje. En realidad, el número 1 de la lista es Enrique Álvarez con 8 recepciones para 268 yardas, 33.5 yardas por recepción y 3 touchdowns. Le sigue Jorge Escamilla con 7 recepciones, 165 yardas, 23.5 yardas por recepción y 2 touchdowns. Y Justin Jefferson, que tuvo solo 3 recepciones para 131 yardas, 43.6 yardas por recepción y 2 touchdowns. Estas son los 7 pases que mandó Fernando Álvarez para touchdown. Ahora, en cuanto a la defensiva, pues ahora tenemos que hizo más tacleadas a Miguel Aranda, que tuvo 8 personales, 4 asistencias, 12 en total. Tuvo 2 tacleadas para pérdida de yardaje, y pues eso es muy bueno. Le sigue Chris Álvarez con 10 tacleadas, 7 personales, 3 asistencias, 3 tacleadas para pérdida de yardaje y 5 capturas de quarterback. Además, provocó un balón suelto. Formidable. Y después viene Omar Cole, que tuvo un día espléndido. 4 tacleadas personales, 2 asistencias, 6 en total. Y lo mejor de todo, tuvo 2 intercepciones, una para anotación. Así las cosas. Los que tuvieron más tacleadas para pérdida de yardaje fueron Chris Álvarez con 3, Henry Zamudio con 2, por parte de San Francisco Drake Jackson con 2, Sergio Camacho con 2, Miguel Aranda con 2, Drew Greenlow de San Francisco con 1, Luis Mercado con 1 y Alan Álvarez con 1. En cuanto a capturas de quarterback, solo hubo 2 jugadores que lo lograron: Chris Álvarez con 5 y Benny Escamilla con 1. That's it. Intercepciones: Omar Cole tuvo 2 intercepciones y John Alex tuvo 1. Fumbles forzados, 1 por parte de Chris Álvarez, que recuperó Sergio Camacho. Y los anotadores del partido fueron Omar Cole. Sus 2 intercepciones fueron para touchdown. Un buen juego de este joven novato safety libre del equipo de los Vikings. Y pues así las cosas. Las anotaciones por cuarto Entendiendo que San Francisco no pudo hacer ninguna anotación, fueron 14-0 en el primer cuarto, 42-0 en el segundo, 35-0 en el tercero y 21-0 en el cuarto. Las estadísticas completas las tenemos aquí. El score final 112-0, con 902 yardas ofensivas contra 152 de San Francisco. Por carrera 319-15, por pase 583-137. Primeros y 10 22 de los Vikingos contra 12 de los 49. En cuanto a yardas regresadas por patada de despeje y por kickoff, 114-0, 29-0. Finalmente, las yardas totales 1045-152, impresionante. En cuanto a los turnovers o balones sueltos o entregados, 4 de los San Francisco 49ers contra 0 de los Minnesota Vikings. En terceras oportunidades, Minnesota tuvo 5 de 6 para un 83% de eficiencia y San Francisco 4 de 17, muy bajo, un 23%. En cuarto down, Vikingos tuvo 1 de 1 y San Francisco no tuvo esa situación. En red zone, Vikingos tuvo 7 de 16 eficientes anotaciones, 7 touchdowns dentro de la zona de roja, y pues no sé si sea así correcto, pero bueno, finalmente en todo estuvo del lado de Vikingos hasta en el tiempo de posesión, que aunque fue prácticamente parejo, por 2 segundos tuvo más Vikingos el balón que los San Francisco 49ers. Pues esto es todo, amables aficionados. Hemos visto cómo el equipo de Minnesota realmente está impresionante. Ha logrado lo que pocos en otras ligas y en otras temporadas. Este equipo se ha conformado con un equipo muy poderoso, de jugadores de alto nivel, y en su mayoría de ellos son novatos. Así es que pues hasta aquí llegamos. Les agradecemos su preferencia, les agradecemos que nos acompañen la próxima semana, en la que veremos a unos Vikingos seguir el camino, la ruta del Super Bowl. Y si Dios lo permite, nos vemos la próxima. Hasta la vista, babies.